champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? It's one step forward, two steps back. FC, Manchester United. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Welcome to the horror show. Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3. What could have been a European night. Welcome to hell, not so much. More like welcome to heck. That place. I think Copenhagen was more intimidating. But either way, United bottle what should have been a big win in Europe in a pseudo-hostile ground from an Onana horror show. Once again, 2 errors leading to goals. United had 2-goal leads twice and 2 egregious errors. The third one that he conceded was arguably should have been saved near post, outside the box. But you give him a little more leniency on that way. But either way, United's European dreams seem to be evaporating in real time. There's still a route to the knockout stage. We need some luck from the other game. We got to beat Bayern at home. And at the same time, more than likely, if we get a draw or even if we get a win, depends on what happens in the other game, we could end up with Hans and Franz. Ooh, tough day at the office, sir. How we feeling? How we doing?
I wouldn't even let him on the bus after the match. I get a taxi back to Manchester.
One man. One man fits that.
Look, one man, the team didn't play well, particularly as far as our defensive shape and organization, managing the game when you're up. I mean, you can't really just say we're great and then every game we melt down, score 3, can't defend at all. Look, the keeper deserves a lot of the blame. He's mashed potatoes back there. It's big shoes to fill, like we said, always. Be careful what you wish for with the new keeper. I'm surprised, to be honest. After seeing him play last season, this is just some weird goalkeeping. It's almost like you don't even see these types of issues that he's having, like jumping behind the wall. That's a new one. That's
I've never seen that.
40 chess and it went wrong. More importantly, shout out to all the American Red Devils who are listening to this podcast because, like most of you today, it's like a work day. I'm really busy and early game, and I'm like, fine. I watch it all. Turn on the game, boom. Let's go. We're ready. Hitting some banger goals. We're going through Champions League hopes, riding the wave with this crew of bums. I mean, unbelievable for them to pull you in. Before the game, I'm like, we're out. We're going to blow it. Then we have a great early first half, and I'm like, back in. Let's go. Then it's like, Onana fumbles one. And then McTominay gets it, and you're like, 3-1, we're good. We're cruising 3-1. And this team, you can't forgive them. You can't forgive them because to do it the way they've done it is inexcusable. It kills me. It hurts. This is like scraping parts of my soul as a fan. It's like you're killing me with this absolute dog shit performances. You look at everything we've been through with this team in the Champions League. You can't be up 3-1 and not shut down shop. You can't beat up 2-0 and not shut down shop. This team is just mashed potatoes. Look at everyone on the pitch. It's disorganized, can't defend. The goalie ain't helping, but when we get a lead, there's no leaders, there's no organization. People are not getting this team in line to just lock up a victory and then move on to Bayern, and we be through. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame the team as much as you're going to blame the team, blame the manager. I mean, sure, the team could have done stuff differently.
That was fouls from Bruno.
We were
very bad fouls from Bruno.
Dude, he hit a banger. He probably scored how about that second goal?
People deserve blame.
Yeah, sure. There's plenty of blame to go around on everyone, all 11, the subs, whatever. The manager, of course. But at the end of the day, it's like the attack was wasteful at the end. We had a bunch of chances to kill it. And the goalie makes 2 egregious errors, sir. You have no chance. We scored the most goals in our group.
You scored 3.
And we scored 3, and he conceded 2.
So then you win 3-2.
Sir, he made 2 errors. So all I'm saying is, Onana is human. He's been good in the league recently. How good was he against Everton a couple of days ago? He had a huge match, kept it a clean sheet.
Titans of Europe right there.
So,
big club.
Okay, sir.
Big club.
Impossible to please. I'm just letting you know, he has been good. He's Mr. Clean Sheets, Mr. De Gea clean sheets. He's tied for the most clean sheets.
Yeah,
in the
he's
EPL.
on. The
So he's been
errors
good
are
in the
stacking.
EPL?
He's stacking these errors
In
higher
Europe,
than De
bro.
Gea.
He is like
He's stacking the. De Gea had errors, but he might be matching the season total before we hit even January.
We'll see
At
about
the end of
that.
the day,
I'll go through the records.
what's the issue that this team? It's more for me. It's a fan of like I want to believe. You gotta you show up. You have a great start. You gotta defend. We've scored more goals than anyone in the group. We're last. It's incredible. This is horrid football. This is absolutely insane. It's like you have to be able to have some leadership on the field to lock it up at 3-1. At 3-1, you score that goal with McTominay. He's still bombing forward. We're out of position. It's like, who's running the show? This team. If you look at us playing in the Champions League, it's embarrassing how we performed. Yes, the keeper has made errors, but we scored enough to outmatch them. It's just that we fall apart. Do you remember how we got beat at home to Galatasaray? That was a clown show. We should have drawn that game
too. He made errors in that
I know,
game
but
too. He made errors against Bayern.
But
He
we
made
should
errors
have
against
drawn that
Copenhagen.
game. We should have drawn that game. And it's like because we're wide open in the midfield, and it's just this team doesn't know how and when to play certain phases of the game. And it's about locking it up and getting results. We cannot lock up a game and get results. This has been embarrassing in Europe. We're crashing out. This team will probably do us the favor of having Europa League football, but this to me, this one got me, sir, because they pulled me back in and they just absolutely just wet noodled this one, and it's like I'm beside myself with this squad of players. There ain't no excuses, sir. The house of failure is built with excuses.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. The house of failure is built with excuses, sir. The house of
Facts. I'm spitting facts.
The house of misery is filled with whinging,
This
bro.
team is horrid.
So
This is
we
dog
played
shit.
good football. We could have scored
Where?
5. What are you talking about? Like the goalie, if the goalie has an error, it leads to a goal. If the goalie has another error, it leads to another goal. If the striker has an error, we don't score. Winger, same thing. It's like the margin of error if you're a goalkeeper is so small that if you fuck up, you fuck your team, bro. And he
By
fucked
the
up.
way, we got 2
He
calls
fucked
from
up.
VAR here.
No, we were lucky. We lucked out.
That goal should have been on, and that handball, they should have gotten a pen.
So the handball is never a pen. In
based
Europe
on-
now
in
it
Europe,
is.
In Europe, yes, it is. But what I'm trying to say is this team, to say we played well here, it's like
We did play
we were
well.
toe-to-toe with Galatasaray. You look at the stat
Away.
sheet, sir, it's about situational football. You want to win things, you want to win leagues, you got to be able to score a third goal. You're up 3-1 and you're not let into. Like, look, the goalie might give an error for one. You don't let in the third. That's what it comes down
gave
to.
an error for two.
You have to get.
This team is soft serve
So
FC,
what's the
bro.
point?
This
What's the
team is
point
not full
they
of
arguing
leaders.
for?
The point I'm trying to make is that like
We played amazing, but the goalie sucks. Is that the
we
whole
have been
thing?
let down by individual errors by our new keeper, right? And like he needs time. We shouldn't throw him out. We shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But Andre Onana is not performing like the goalkeeper we signed up for. That was like ridiculous in the Champions League final last year against Manchester City. So United played a lot better in this match versus some of our earlier matches in the Champions League. We scored some nice goals. Some of it was individual brilliance. That Bruno one was just like a bangerang. But like when you're
That's all it is. That's all it is. We're not
the
organized.
first goal,
we don't know
the
how
third
to
goal,
win.
the third goal was a great team goal, bro. That was the first goal, right? Obviously, had a good finish from Garnacho, but don't be so like doom and gloom, like black and white. It's like we played well and then we screwed ourselves by individual errors, pronounced more so because it was the keeper making those individual errors.
Look, at the end of the day, for me, there's no. For me, it's like yes, the keeper made an error, but you have to play the game.
2 errors.
The free kicks that Bruno gave were bad. He gave the free kick and then he's chewing out the players. Right, we're talking about what happened in the game. It's like bad fouls. He gave up 2 in the same spot. Those lead to the goals. Right, obviously Onana should save them. He should do much better. But what I'm saying is that the midfield's all over the place. We're trying to make crazy runs. We're not thinking defensively. We're up 3-1. We let them back in the game. That's what I'm trying to say is for me, it's at 3-1. The team needs to lock it down. Someone on the pitch. Paul Scholes said it in the postgame. That's when you need to, tuck your tail, get in line and like relieve the pressure. But right now it's like we kept bombing forward, turning the ball away and then being exposed at the back. And obviously the keeper ain't going to do you any favors, but there is something to Manchester United not being able to close games out or being aware of that situation on the pitch that as a fan, it's just unbelievable to see us melt down the way we do. It's incredible.
Yeah, but you get used to it. Like you said, at 3-1, 2-0, I was sure we're going to fuck it up somehow, whether it was VAR or because of our own mistakes.
I was optimistic.
The Bruno
I
Fernandez
thought we were gonna win.
fouls, I'm not letting him take that L, bro. That is because Lindelof did not come forward and close down the man, and he had to track him back and make a tactical foul. So Lindelof should not be starting. That's on the manager, right? I think Varane has shown that, hey, he's better than Victor Lindelof. Victor Lindelof has been like one of the worst players over the last 2 games, and we have a fit Varane. Obviously, the whole right center back, left center back thing.
Bruno ain't taking no L's in this spot. That came from Scholes.
Scholes
killed him for those. He's key.
Yeah, but
Scholes
look at the
killed him for
fucking match, bro. Lindelof is back foot.
I'm going with the best midfielder ever when it comes to what should be done in the midfield or not. You know, like I'm a Muppet, but when Paul Scholes says that those are crap fouls, I'm going with the Scholes.
He had a goal and assist, hit the post.
I'm going with Scholes.
All right, bro. He doesn't like
Paul
Bruno
Scholes
Fernandez.
Score a goal. He
good,
just said he
man.
doesn't like us losing, and that's fair. I think
Get used to losing, bro. Get used to losing. Like we have Victor Lindelof plays on our team. Like it's like, what do you expect? Either the Iceman cometh? Are you kidding me?
We've done 500 episodes for the record.
Kill me
It's
now.
like
Jesus, this season has been fucking miserable. Like I'll tell you what, the Rangnick year was like, you knew it was a fucking disaster halfway through. Like this season is we have promise. We keep shooting ourselves in the foot over and over again.
Promise.
All right, bro.
Wait till the Newcastle match, bro. Are you kidding me? It's
All
like this is just, we're episode 501. Shout out to American Red Devils fans. Listen to this nuts. This is the official like low. Like this is when you and me are just like shouting in the mic. I don't know what, like this team. It's just like I'm dying, bro.
It'll be a blessing in disguise, bro. Why would we want to go to the knockout stage of the fucking Champions League? We can't even beat a bunch of guys in Turkey. We can't beat Cope. Hold on a second. We don't hope. The hope.
The hope to win it all.
Get the fuck out of here. You just said like why? Like with a bunch of bums, we're gonna get beat the shit out of a new.
At 3-1,
you want to go play Real Madrid?
Sir,
you want to go play like
at 3-1. This result.
This is a good thing. Let's do us a favor.
No,
we'll focus
it's
on
not
the
doing
league.
us a
No
favor.
Europe.
No.
We could finish in the top 4, bro. It's like this is too much for us right now. We cannot go
here's the
anywhere
deal.
in the Champions League. It's far too competitive, and this team isn't good enough, and the squad isn't mature enough.
At 3-1, look, this has been a rough ride in the Champions League, and what I want to see from this team more than anything is for them to turn this around, get this out of our system, and going to Galatasaray, going to Turkey, scoring those goals. The McTominay goal was a big
That was a team goal.
Hey, we ain't going down. Like we ain't wet noodling here. It was 2-1. I thought for sure we wet noodle. We get 3-1, and I was
huge,
like,
bro.
"Bam, we're back, baby."
And
this is a team.
Look like me and Net, bro. In
This is a
Argentina.
team.
Like,
This is a team result. Back against the wall. Odds against us. Away in a hostile environment. We made our bed, and we got to fight like hell to get these 3 points to get out of the group, and we had it. And to fall from that back to this BS narrative that we're in right now, that we're yelling and screaming about, it's like this was in our hands. This is such a tough L to take. It's just like it was there. I could taste it, and like what this win would have meant to this team, and we were dying for it.
Bro.
We're dying for this win.
Bro.
We're dying to get out.
What'd your boy De Gea say? We're
And
cursed, bro. Like this club is cursed, and that's what happens. We're gonna be cursed for another 20 years.
This is a tough one because what this would
they should
mean,
have won.
because you go into Newcastle, it gives you a little more hope. Yep. If Newcastle comes out, if we see a similar performance like we did last year, and Newcastle mop the floor, then the heads start falling. We know this group, and they need this bit of confidence. So it was a tough one. Look, episode 501, it's off to a cracker. Thank you for everyone who's been with the American Red Devils. We wear our hearts on the sleeves. We're not trying to outsmart you. We're just trying to give you that Muppet take. And boy, today, this felt like a proper kick in the nuts. I just wish they would have just melted down from minute 1 instead of giving me the hope.
Honestly, Jesus.
It's the hope that kills you.
And we had
that
these
we
chances
say.
at the end. It made it so much worse. It was brutal. It was like painful.
Quick PSA for the podcast. You like the moaning. You like the excuse factory, the winch factory. Support the podcast. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/American Red Devils. We got to keep these factories employed. We got lots of employees.
I'm glad you acknowledge that there is also a dueling winch factory. The winch.
Kill these bums. Kill them.
Yes, they are bums.
We got tons of benefits at our Patreon page. We don't have any sponsors. Please check it out. It goes a long way to support the podcast. We're directly survive on fan support. So please, if you can go the extra mile, we would really appreciate it. Also, we have a store, AmericaRedDevils.store, scarves, hoodies, stickers, pins as well. If you grab something that supports us in the bunker, it goes a long way. Also, check out our website, AmericaRedDevils.com. Great fan blog content. If you want to contribute, you can email us, AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com. If you just want to email us anyway, you can email us, AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com. Sir, tell them about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews, 5-star reviews, wherever you listen. It's a great way to support the pod. We're giving away free merch, more importantly. All you have to do is write a 5-star review wherever you listen, but ideally on iTunes or Spotify, and send a screenshot of that review to AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship a free ARD scarf, send it right to your door anywhere in the world. Sir, play that music.
I don't even want to live it.
Don't play it. Play Hans and Franz. 2 more. We got 2 more after this. That's it.
This loss like fucked my day up. This one was. All right, here we go. Walking the plank. Galatasaray 3, Manchester United 3. Let's go. Nana and net.
What a bum.
Shaw, Lindelof, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. Promising back line. Amrabat, McTominay midfield. Garnacho, Bruno, and Anthony on the right. Højlund up front. Did Højlund play today? I wasn't sure.
He did. He's in the 11. The back four is reminiscent of a Ole back four. It's good to see Shaw and Wan-Bissaka there. A little surprised to see Lindelof again. Amrabat getting a chance. Made sense not to start Kobe again, in the weather and just after a couple days rest. And then Anthony actually had a good match. So, at least for the first 50 minutes. Not a bunch of huge surprises. What do you think when you saw us 11?
Amrabat, Anthony, I thought were big calls for the manager. Those are the only two that I kind of had questions. Look, Anthony didn't have his worst game, not his best game. He's not on the score sheet. But look, United come out strong. 5th minute, great chance for Højlund, sir. But we got some angelic voices. Let's get into it.
Why do we do this to ourselves? What are we doing?
We're just gonna go here.
Goals.
Here's the goal.
11th minute.
Instead, it's Bruno Fernandes. Fed into Højlund. He's done well. Bruno Fernandes. Garnacho with a chance. And Garnacho with a goal. Manchester United take the lead inside 11 minutes. In the week when he scored probably the goal of his life.
I mean, unbelievable goal from Garnacho. Well done. Good setup, lads. We're on to something here. And 14th minute goal line save from Onana. Handball shout from McSauce. Look, to me, this one was a pen. It was pretty clear. Arm extended, unnatural position. And we just this. For anyone who saw this, didn't think a pen was coming, and then we didn't get it. It was like, holy smokes.
I was shocked.
I was like,
Oh,
this was like a big, oh my God, because.
Let me respond to the Garnacho goal. I mean, that was a great finish from Garnacho. A lot to do. Good team goal. Well done from Højlund. But more importantly, what a finish from the Argentines. So good early goal. Also, he got yelled at by the ref after this to not shush the crowd so there wouldn't be a riot, which I was impressed by. But like I said,
shush away.
I thought the Copenhagen fans were more intimidating than Turkey, but that's just me.
What about the pen?
No, we're lucky. I mean, this should not be a handball. It has become a handball. Look at the Newcastle call against PSG, yesterday. It is now a pen, or at least it was as of yesterday. And I guess they changed their minds.
Because it's like outside.
It was like his arm was behind his back. I mean,
no, but it was like
it shouldn't be a pen, but it's become a pen in the modern game, and it has at least this season in Europe. So I was shocked we got this call.
If we kick this ball at a Galatasaray defender right on the 3-yard line, basically, like 3 feet from the line, and his arm is out to the side, hits it, that's a hand. I think that's a pen. I'd be hard done if this happened. Say if this happened in the 90th minute of this game and we didn't get it, I'd be like, what the hell?
We lucked out.
Don't you remember the Maguire header handball? We've seen some crazy handballs. I think the number one thing here is there's no consistency.
No, there isn't. What about Martinez when it hit his thigh and then went to his arm against Sevilla? I mean, dude, it's all over the place.
All right, here we go. Bruno Fernandes, banger.
Bruno Fernandes. Why not? Oh, why not? Oh, my word. Bruno Fernandes thunders Manchester United into a 2-goal lead. What a goal from nowhere. Just takes a touch out his feet. The stadium stops and waits. Can he produce?
Amazing goal. 2-0 up, 17 minutes. Silence the crowd. I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up any better from Manchester United.
Through 18 minutes, what a Bruno banger outside the box. We haven't had enough of these. These are like reminiscent of sporting days. Haven't seen enough just absolute bangers, and that was a great one. And you know what? Right? Just when I think I'm out, they bring you back in, and then United lets you down.
All right, 28th minute here. Let's see.
Be a yellow card for the Manchester United captain.
He's right.
Well, he's not happy. The ability on his left foot. It's Ziyech. It's in. It's 2-1. Onana completely wrong-footed. Saw it late, but it went right past the Manchester United goalkeeper on his side of the goal. Guesses that he's going to go over the wall and watch Onana in the goal. He goes early, steps across.
I just never even seen this before. I just never
That's
even
a howler,
seen,
bro.
I've
That's called a howler.
I've seen it go through the hands, seen a lot of things, never seen just like
falls
look,
over to one.
we're not
bro.
goalkeeping experts, but you gotta do better than that. Gotta do better than that.
Good. That looks like a little, I don't even know what it looks like. That's like me playing in the net. I mean,
No, he's just trying to get a jump on the wall, but the wall's
you're overthinking it. You're trying to be too clever. It's just like stand there and wait to see where the ball goes and then react. That was bad.
I think he has come up big in the league, but I will say like some of the saves he makes don't necessarily look like conventional, right? The style he kind of had, he's like his style is definitely
he's
different,
not as elegant
right?
as a De Gea. De Gea was such an elegant shot stopper.
No, but it works though. That's what I'm saying. He parries it a lot. It's a lot of like kind of swatting at it versus like I think obviously De Gea like made a bunch of these bluffer kind of just like drop the ball in the net type of things.
Glad
but
you
he's a
said
lot
that,
of
not me.
he has this.
No, it's true. It's true.
He's big in the net, but he's kind of swatting at it, and we'll get to that. That next one is definitely a little unconventional. 38th minute free header from McSauce, blasted over. 44th Galatasaray score, but wait, this one was tight.
Super tight.
They got this automated offside thing here. I thought this was on. I thought they would check VAR and it'd be on. We didn't get the lines. We didn't get a view, which was kind of strange. So
they showed at halftime. It was like literally, it was nothing. I mean, we lucked out again. We got two pieces of luck.
By the hair on our chinny. So you have to look at it. We got two good goals.
That's fair.
Conceded one, and then you're looking at two VAR just like save you from the depths of a 3-2 in the first half. This is what I was trying to say. United are just too open here. We get the lead. We're giving one away. And obviously the Bruno foul was because we were way too open, a little disorganized. We go in at half, holding down the line. We come out. McSauce. We ain't wet noodling. We got this one.
It's Wan-Bissaka. Look at the support. McTominay, 3-2. 3-1, I should say. Scott McTominay jabs it in. Terrific counter-attack. Well, he's a man in form. And a man in form has given them breathing space. It's just a willingness to bomb on. He recognises the overload. He recognises the danger. He finds the space.
Great ball, McTominay. Great finish. That's hard finish near post. He gets on it. 3-1. Gotta do better from here.
No, it's a great goal from United. A great response after kind of finishing the first half on a not so good note. And the team gets let down by not playing 90 minutes, right? Like you said, we were open in the first half. Second half came out hot, and then it's just we'll get to the 62nd minute in a bit, but some good and sometimes we're shit, bro. That's how we go.
57th minute double sub, Martial and Manu on for Amrabat and Højlund. I actually didn't mind this sub. By the way, Kobe Manu came on. Very good.
He's a very good player.
He's there's positives to take out of this game. We'll get to it at the end, but this is not one of them. 62nd minute.
This one.
It's Ziyech, swung towards goal again, and another! Has spilled another! Ziyech has beaten him again! It is another calamity for the Manchester United goalkeeper!
And again, he's brought them back into the game, and again it's an error, and Onana.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
We're in big trouble already, bro. I mean, to be fair, Martial should do something there. He ducks his head down, but Onana makes it. Dude, there's no excuse. That's horrible. Like, you do that. What's the guy? Who's the NFL coach who sometimes plays? Like, I don't care who you are. You give the ball over 4 times in their own end zone. That's what that is, bro. That's like, I don't care who you are. You can score 3 goals away.
3-2 at this point.
I get it. And then what kind
By
of goal?
the way, look, people think I'm a De Gea defender.
You are.
I'm defending Onana here. Look, he had 2 errors. We're up 3-2. And the thing about this that you all know, and everyone listening to this podcast knows, we didn't concede 20 minutes later. We didn't concede 30 minutes later after dogged defending and wave after wave after wave. We conceded 8 minutes later, which is probably more like 6 minutes later because of the celebration time, everything exactly. We were like, and we're disorganized all over the place. There we go. 70th minute.
Atakolu has gathered that in. What a goal that is. It's 3-3. The substitute Kerem Atakolu comes on.
I mean, hell of a finish.
Pulls Galatasaray back on terms. We've still got 20 minutes. Where on earth is this game going?
It's a wonder strike. It's a wonder game.
World-class finish.
brilliant
Victor
run.
Lindelof's in no man
From
land again.
He's got
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
He's in no man land again, and both free kicks were given up by Bruno Fernandes. To be fair, they were given up by Bruno, but they're given up because Victor Lindelof did not close down his man. So it's a world-class finish, bro. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like Bruno, that goalie's not to blame for letting in a Bruno curler. So,
Look, we had some fight after this. Garnacho, tight miss, double sub, Delo and Palestri come on. Bruno hit the post 85th. Goal line clearance from Galatasaray on the 90th minute. How did we not score there? Palestri.
Facundo should have done better.
He couldn't get the ball out of his feet, but I feel like here it's just, we had a flurry of chances, and then 93rd minute McSauce free header. That's the game. Look, it's 3-3. Just not good enough for Manchester United. Just an absolute mashed potato fest. You had it was there in the 18th minute, 2-0, and it was all going one way, unfortunately. We might have believed, but the way we can concede goals, the way we can melt down in big spots is just uncanny. Whether it's the keeper, whether Lindelof's not defending and Bruno's got to make a foul and then he's out of position again. We're just disorganized, discombobulated FC. We're this many games in, and it should not look like this. This comes down to the players on the pitch. There's coaching. There's things we got to be working on to be more organized, have better defensive shape, and not be able to concede because these are not great teams. If you look at the stats against Everton, they were all over us, getting great chances in dangerous areas. We gave it to Galatasaray. We're going to give it to Newcastle, and better teams punish you, and that's what we saw today.
And this isn't even that good of a team. Let's be honest.
Not.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're not. They're not very good.
Like, surprising. They should have been better.
No, they look like a team. Look like stacked, right? They got like Zaha and Cardi and Mertens.
Zaha could have scored one as well. I mean,
but it's the story of our season, bro. It's the story of United these days. Just discombobulated. We can't put out 90 minutes of football. If certain players step up, other players let the team down. Some decisions, some 11 stuff. Like, I always defend Eric Ten Hag, but I'm going to go in on this one. Like, You cannot be starting Victor Lindelof. I know he had the pass that led to the great Alejandro bicycle kick, but like in defense, even if you play Varane left center back instead of right center back, he is much like Lindelof is Wet Noodle, captain of Wet Noodle FC. So it's like he was culpable for a number of goals today. He wasn't good against Everton, and he cannot be playing against Newcastle on the weekend. So plenty to blame to go around, like you said. Players, manager, players, everybody. But it's tough times these days, bro. It's exhausting being a Manchester United fan.
I mean, for me, the big one, the big one, it really is he rug pulled De Gea's contract, paid $45 million. So it would have cost nothing to sign De Gea. You could have got a center back for $45, right? These are big calls that they're making, and we get Onana in, which again, as a Muppet, I think, hey, look, this guy is going to help us play out the back. It's going to help us score more. And in no way, shape, I think we'd be seeing the horror show we've seen from him to date. Like, this is just something that's uncanny, but that lies at the feet of the manager, because this was a big change, and it's cost us Champions League football. You could put any other keeper back there. I don't think you're going to see the crazy errors we've seen. The errors have been unbelievable in the Champions League, at least.
No, the reason we are not progressing in the group is Onana. But Onana is not Antony. He's not some unproven random bum that we overpaid by double for. He's like an established keeper that played in the Champions League final and played very well, kept Inter in the game against City, and is playing like absolute trash in half the games for Manchester United in his new career here. So it's like, but at the same time, I think like on paper it sounded like a good transfer. But also the manager shouldn't be the DOF, and that will eventually change when we have a real football structure in sooner rather than later.
No, but it lies at that decision, that call.
But he shouldn't be making that call.
Feet of Ten Hag.
But De Gea, bro, let's not play the revisionist De Gea game like he was 2017 De Gea. Like,
no,
come
but
on.
you have to say he had the contract agreed, right? And the manager made the call to basically nope, and then go with this guy. The manager made that decision, whether or not he should have. It lies with him. And he made this big call. It was a big move, and it has cost us.
But he didn't make him
Champions
spill
League
the ball twice today. Like, it's not like he signed a good keeper and the keeper's playing like shit. I hear you. I agree to a certain sense, but like
it falls at the manager's feet.
It falls at Onana's feet. He fucked up today twice.
Onana let the manager down, who backed him to be our keeper.
Well, there you go.
So if you look back at the Onana, the De Gea switcheroo, I would think that right now, in retrospect, it's clear to me that we would have been better off spending the money on another center back, because we have, like, you look at the defending in front of Onana, that ain't helping. It's an absolute mess back there. We needed one. We were looking at Pavard. We couldn't and didn't have the money to do it. I think you're going to get some errors out of De Gea still, but maybe not as crazy as it's been. And I hope that he continues his good league form, but that was a big move the manager made, and I'm just calling it out.
And hindsight is always 20/20, sir. So yes, in hindsight, it's easy to make those calls. But yeah,
if I was paid millions of dollars to be the manager of Manchester United, I would be.
And he should focus on managing and not like recruiting, bro, because that's not their job.
Looking at the stat sheet, we had Manchester United with 17 shots to Galatasaray 16. United's 4 on target to 8. Galatasaray 8 shots on target. The group, we are last. Copenhagen drew Bayern, which doesn't do us any favors. Sir, you want to run us through the scenarios here?
There are a lot of scenarios. Okay, we lose, we're out. If we win against Bayern, and we'll be on 7 points, then we have to hope for a draw between the Copenhagen and Galatasaray game going out at the same time. If we draw and we get to 5 points, depending on what happens in the other game, if there is a goal differential that makes it so they're worse than -2, right? So Copenhagen beats Galatasaray. They're in second. Galatasaray are on 5 points. We're on 5 points because we drew Bayern, but they have worse than -2 like they have now. We go through. So it depends on like the severity of the other game if there is a loss and if we do tie Bayern in the first place. And then what, sir? If we're all tied on points and goal differential, which I guess
that wouldn't. So we don't make it through if we tie Bayern. We make it to Europa League.
Yeah, through to Europe.
Yeah.
To the other elite competition in Europe known as Europa League.
Right. So
which is happening regardless.
Getting to it, the only way we stay in the Champions League is if we beat Bayern Munich, get 7 points, and then Galatasaray and Copenhagen tie.
That's it.
And then they're on 6. When it comes to Europa League, The tiebreaker is goal differential. Copenhagen -1, Galatasaray -2, United -2. If we draw Bayern and then Copenhagen, say, beats Galatasaray, they will have less than -2, and then we will go through. Now, if Galatasaray beats Copenhagen 1-0, Copenhagen will have a -2 goal differential, just like us, and the tiebreaker would be like who scored the most goals in the group stage, which United would go through. So regardless, a draw for Bayern and Copenhagen or Galatasaray winning most likely sees us in Europe. So a tie or a win for Bayern keeps us in Europe at the end of the day. We lose against Bayern, we are out no matter what. So Bayern's coming to Old Trafford. Old Tommy Tuchel
Hates us.
He's a nutter.
Doesn't like us.
Greatest handshake in all the game, if you remember that Conte handshake. At the end of the day, it's going to be a huge match at Old Trafford, and this team is going to get us up for it, and we're going to see where it goes. I have a feeling we're going to get something out of that Bayern game.
Yeah.
Whether it be a win or a draw, I could see us kind of winning and then conceding late. It'll be interesting to see what Tuchel does because they're already in. I have to imagine they're going to put out a lighter side than they would. And so it just, again, this is going to be a crazy last day. Europe's still on the menu. So as frustrating as Galatasaray was, it's just like this game would have gotten us so much farther over the line. We would have been second in the group right now. It just, everything went that way. And just to not pull it across, that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, sir.
Understandably, sir. And most importantly, look at that table. We have scored more goals than Bayern in the 5 games, and we are last. And that is because of the defense, that is because of soft serve FC, and that is because Onana's made a shit ton of errors in the Champions League this season. So it's not good.
All right, sir, what do we know? Let's check in with the manager, Erik ten Hag.
It felt like you probably did enough to win the game twice, but your goalkeeper has made 2 quite big errors again. How did you see the game in general?
I think as a team we played very well, and we win together, we lose together, and you see the progress in this team, and I take many positives of this game. Some stages we play like I wanted my team to play. It was enjoyable to watch them, and so proactive, dynamic, and brave, and we scored great goals. And even after we had some setbacks, we kept going till the end. Because in the end, we should have won as well with the big chances from Scott McTominay and Pellistri. So, of course, I'm disappointed because we should have managed the game better. We will learn from that. But you see, this team is in development.
I know you probably don't want to talk about individuals, but just on Andre, he has made 2 quite big mistakes again. Have you spoken to him after the game? Is he okay?
Yes, he's okay. But as I say, it's not about an individual. And of course, individual in football, some individual errors will make difference, and we have to take responsibility for it. But but it's always about team. And this team is good. All the players in this squad are good and deserve the best to play for Man United because they are brilliant players, and that counts for the whole squad.
Erik, you spoke about...
Just in the translation.
2 tane soru sordu. Birincisi kaleciyle ilgili bir soruydu.
Sorry.
İyiyim şimdi.
Sir.
Oh, we're losing it here in the bunker.
What language are we speaking here? Like Erik ten Hag, he looks sharp-dressed man. Sharp-dressed man.
If I was bald, I'd look a lot worse than Erik ten Hag. So
no, look, he's sharp, the beard, the whole deal, to get up the turtle. Erik ten Hag, man. What do we got?
We got a next match? We got a next match? Who we got?
What do you think of the manager's comments, sir?
Dude, it's not easy to go up there and eat crow. His guy that he signed, that he has, like you said, man, he's got culpability. He signed this keeper, made the bold move, and it's not paying off, especially in Europe. But I do like that he's like, win together, lose together. That's the right line. But at the end of the day, he knows that's his guy, bro.
Seat hot.
What hot?
Seat hot.
We're back to firing him?
No, I'm not firing him. I'm just asking the seat's hot.
Seat is always hot. This is Manchester United, bro. Ooh. Every other team wants us to fail. And some of our fans want us to fail.
No.
Yes, they do. No. Yes, they do. I'm not saying you want us to fail, sir. I didn't say that. I just said there are cohorts with our fan group.
I think there are fans.
We have the
that
biggest
are sick
fan
of
group
shit
in the.
football.
Yeah,
I think,
so
I
what,
think,
dude? I'm sick of shit football too, bro.
I think
so.
that-
Grow the fuck up and fucking be.
I think that
like,
I think that they're
serious.
So the way
serious.
that this works is that like the frustration stacks up. Right, so it's like it's been a decade of just absolute shit.
And we've
so it's
watched
like
it more
we
than
are like
anyone.
literally like every time going down this rabbit hole of like the play well, win something, and then fall off a cliff. Play well, and look, the end is coming. The Ratcliffe deal is going to come. We're going to get proper director of football, etc. So hopefully that will be the big change. But right now, this is another Champions League. Just even when we went through with Ole and Ronaldo, it was just a nightmare.
It's the same
qualifying.
thing.
It was
Remember
just,
that
no, but
Sevilla?
we've never. It's just been.
Remember we
since-
beat PSG and then we got the shit kicked out of us by
Olympiacos,
Barcelona. And
it's been a long. It's been a long.
It's
one,
actually a
sir.
good thing we don't go, sir. It's good that we don't go to the knockout stage because we would just get embarrassed.
Sir, next match. Let's go. Newcastle versus
game.
Manchester United. Tough times by the Tyne, St. James's Park, Saturday, December 2nd, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. The black and white stripes, the referees, VAR. Lifetime Newcastle, we've won 91, drawn 41, lost 45. First time we played them, 1895. We won 5-1 in the second division. What I would give for our 5-1. Last 5, drawn 2, 1-1, lost 2. Not looking great. Last 2 we've lost. In the League Cup, they beat us 3-0. And we lost 2-0 last time we went and played them in the league at St. James's Park. They just destroyed us. Could have been 4-0 in that game. Big win against Everton. Draw against Galatasaray. How are we feeling going into Newcastle? Big game. This is a top 4 rival. Ain't no Stoke City.
Who?
Ain't no Stoke City.
Who? Yeah, what are they? Last time they were in the EPL. This is gonna be a really tough match. Really difficult match. We have 2 days rest. We're going away. They now think they're a rival of Manchester United, even though they haven't won a piece of silverware in 70 years. They're mad about the EFL Cup. I understand. You know, who owns them, bro? I don't know. It's Newcastle, I hate them already. So
Bonesaw FC,
Exactly.
sir.
And
But
then
they
the
are on
fans
the rise.
drape them- yeah, they're on the
They're
ri-
making noise.
Of course
Hey.
they are. They're spending money
Hey.
and they're spending it well. And they recruited top talent in the front office.
This guy.
Well,
Making fun of the noisy neighbors. Noisy neighbors pretty loud.
Bro, they're 2
now
hours
it's
from
make fun
Manchester.
of Newcastle.
They're like way up the coast, bro.
No, I know, but Newcastle's like they're punching right now.
And why are they punching?
They're punching.
Because nobody has expectations on them, and they've spent. Well, Isaac's a good player. Trippier, bro. We should have bought Trippier. We were on him. They didn't want to spend money. He was £12 million. He'd be starting right now at right back. They literally poached the front office of Brighton, bro. They know what they're doing.
They last 5 games beat Arsenal 1-0. Dortmund pipped them 2-0. Bournemouth beat them 2-0. Newcastle beat Chelsea 4-1. And they drew PSG, undeserved handball there, but they're on a good run. Eddie Howe will have them up for it. Like I said, big top 4 game. We could have locked up top 4, went away to St. James's Park, and they blew our socks off with that
Finished
2-0 game. And it was right from the jump, full of piss and vinegar, home crowd right behind them. Look, we showed up away in Turkey. It's got to be easier to play at St. James's Park. So
That's true. No one calls
Right?
St. James's Park hell.
Exactly. So I mean, you would hope
But they're a better team.
after that.
But they're a much
They
better
are a much better team. Good coach. And this is a very important game because what I would like to see, and it goes to just the way we think about the game. Sir Alex would, if he was in the spot, Champions League didn't go his way, he would be packing it in, defend. Can't have an embarrassing result.
Yeah.
And so if you keep playing go for it, kitchen sink, and you lose 5-2, or you're big results against you, you really just need to defend for your lives. Keep it close. Don't get embarrassed. Like, I hate to say it.
No,
that's
you
what
nailed
we
it.
need.
You fucking nailed it. You fucking nailed it because you're absolutely right. The last thing you could have happen is him lose 5-1 and everyone's like, sack that goddamn sack of shit. Get him out of it. And you're 100%. You fucking nailed it. It's like what Fergie would have done is like you pack the box. 4-4-2. You fucking pile it in. You're just like, whoop. You get Harry. You get Varane. You throw in 2 holding midfielders. You do Amrabat and fucking what's his name and fucking Kobe, and you just like defend for your life and try and pip him on the counter. And instead, I fear for the worst because I think our stubborn bastard. If anyone knows a Dutch person, the Dutch are awfully stubborn. It's like he's gonna be like, I only have 1 speed and I'm going for it, and they could fucking rip us apart on the counter too. So I'm worried.
It's about surviving the first 15, and we did a good job today. But again, I think it's you and me playing football in North Jersey, and it comes down to like we had a horrible coach and we were losing. We're a horrible team, and then we hired this madman who came in, and his line, like the motto of the team was 48 minutes because the game was 48 minutes, and you got to play the whole 48 minutes. And the motto of this team should be 90 minutes or 100 minutes, whatever, because we got to play the whole time. And that theme this season is like we've seen amazing goals, amazing performances by individuals, 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Not 90 minutes. It has to be, you play to win the game. It's got to be the whole time. Jumping injuries. Another reason this team's been absolutely decimated. Casemiro out. Martinez out. Mason Mount, he's out. Johnny Evans, MBE.
You're so funny.
Christian Eriksen, Malacia, Jadon Sancho, and Ahmad. What's up with Ahmad? I thought he was making his way back. A lot of players injured. How are we feeling? What is your 11?
Not feeling super confident, sir, but Jesus Christ. Talk to Fergie, Erik ten Hag. Just pack it in. Just pack it in and don't get embarrassed. I'm going Onana, I guess. In net, who else? AWB, Varane, Maguire, Shaw. You got to play Varane. You have to drop Lindelof. Lindelof has been very poor the last 2 matches.
That was very bad. He played very
He was terrible
badly.
today. He was terrible. The only player that was worse was Onana, who was a lot worse. Kobe, McTominay, Bruno. I'm going to stick with that same midfield. I'm going to do Garnacho, Rashford, Højlund. Who you got, sir?
Sir, I think it picks itself. I rarely have the same 11 as you, but I have that. And
Varane, I hope?
he might be
or
sneaking
Lindelof?
in Varane. He might be sneaking in Antony, though. That would be my only concern. I could see maybe I'll make one change. I'll do Rashford, Højlund, Antony, just to give Garnacho. You kind of ride Garnacho a little bit. You got to give him a blow. And also having him off the bench could be critical. Booking the bookies, what are the odds, sir? What do we got? I got it.
We're doing it live, baby. Newcastle heavy favorites. They know. The bookies know, bro. They always know. That's why they make money. Minus 105 for the Toon Army at home. Plus 260 for the draw. United plus 280. Almost 3 times your money to play the referee's FC. I'm nervous.
Stacked against us, what is your score prediction?
I think it's going to be bad. I think we're going to lose 3-0, and it could be worse.
Ooh. I mean, like, I want to predict a win. I really do. I really do.
Don't do it to yourself.
I just we played well today. You look at Garnacho and Bruno's goals, and it's like we can score, but then what you see, the difference that you're going to see is you're going to see a very well drilled, very organized, well coached team, and then they're going to cut through us like a hot knife through butter. So it's like 3-1. There's levels to this game, and we are trying. I just have a feeling that we're just trying to do something too complicated that's not quite working yet, because McTominay getting forward gets you that goal, but then it opens these gaps in the middle of the park, and then we are all over the ice, sir.
They're a good team. It's a big test for Manchester United. Oof, Saturday's coming quick.
All right, United in the news. Apparently, Carlo Ancelotti contract. Sir, what do you got for this Carlo Ancelotti? I didn't vet the sources. It was all over socials. Apparently, there's a deal on the table for him. He's coach of Real Madrid. You look at his Wikipedia page, impressive.
No, he's the Don.
Impressive. And
He's an elite manager. It's noise. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, why the fuck would he want to come to Manchester United when he can leave Real Madrid when they have that midfield and that team, and they're going to get either Haaland or Mbappe the next 3 years. And I think he's also working on maybe going to Brazil as their national team coach. The reason I put it in there was because, like, Ancelotti, I like the manager. I think he deserves more time. Our manager, that is. But Carlo Ancelotti has something that Erik ten Hag doesn't. And this is something that I think is going to be critical for whatever manager succeeds long term with the fan base, with the press, and even with the players, which is like Carlo Ancelotti has swagger and he has charisma. And I like the manager, but the one thing he does lack, and it's probably because of the English element, is like he doesn't have any kind of like, he doesn't have the swag that a Jose did. He doesn't have the swag that a Fergie did. He doesn't have swag that a Pep does.
Well, he doesn't have the resume. He doesn't have the heavy resume. Ancelotti's resume, you look at it.
I'm not even talking about resume. I'm talking about like,
no, but
like,
you need
like,
resume
what's his
to
name?
command.
Who's the guy at Chelsea? Pochettino. Like, he's dog shit, but he's got people like him. He's charming. People like the press roots for him.
I think in a locker room, the players, someone like Ancelotti, like the player, he ultimately
He's like
automatically
elite. He's
earns
elite. Yeah, he's
respect because of his resume and what he's done, what he's accomplished. Multiple Champions leagues, you know, like he has it all. And that is something that Manchester United probably need at the end of the day. Now, where I think there's probably some truth to this is Ratcliffe's coming in. How much time did he give Arnold and Murta? Like none. 0. You're out. Erik ten Hag's going to get time. But we just saw United like look to be bounced out of the Champions League in the group stage. So that's not like you look at the resume and of this season and you're the new owners and your new shiny toy and you're like, okay, that's not good this year. Obviously last year we could talk about it, but he's going to be evaluated like this season on how we are doing now with what we got. And if Ratcliffe brought in Carlo Ancelotti after a miserable year, nobody's going to be questioning that move, especially if we have the ex-PSG CEO and Paul Mitchell and Ancelotti. Look, Erik ten Hag, he's going to be given this season, and if he was able to fight for top 4, if he's able to turn this around and compete in Europa League or make a run, like it would be a different story. So I do think there's something about the desire for some top-tier talent from the new partial owner of the club. I think there has to be something in that. Now, to hear it now is too soon. Now, if you heard it, if we were like 7th or 6th in the league and bounced out of every cup competition and we're not playing well, and this shit football continues, then to hear this maybe in March or April wouldn't be crazy. But right now, it's probably nothing.
No, it's almost certainly nothing. And the reason that those other two guys, Murtaugh and Arnold, were bounced even before fucking Ratcliffe showed up is because they didn't earn any time. Whereas, like you said, Ten Hag finished 3rd. Ten Hag won a trophy, went to another final. He deserves time, but he's going to be in the hot seat, bro. They're going to bring in, like,
that time
Jean-Claude Blanc is coming
this
in.
Season. That time is
yes,
this season.
He deserves
like,
at least
it's
this
literally
season.
Like,
yeah,
it's this. He's not going to, like, with the existing owners, he would have gotten next season. Now it's
who knows?
This season.
They're so reactionary. They could have fired him in a couple of weeks if things go shitty because we're going through a really rough run of games, bro. We have obviously Newcastle, then we have Chelsea, then we have to play Bayern, then we have to play the Scousers. So it's like they could be firing him before 2024.
I don't think that.
Not now.
So it could get. I agree. It can get ugly. I do not think they should fire him the remainder of the year.
I also agree.
I do not think that the change, because with the new owners and the new CEO, everything, this is going to be kicked down the road. Next bit of news here: Timo Werner expresses interest. Manchester United expressed interest in signing him. You've made fun of this guy. You've absolutely killed this guy.
Who hasn't? Would you take Timo Werner, sir?
No, of course he's. If you look at Football Reference, he's 50th percentile in like non-penalty XG.
Is that good or
he is
bad?
horrifically bad. He is horrifically bad.
Really is.
He is bad over the last year compared to all strikers in the top 5 leagues in Europe. He is absolute dog shit. Absolutely horrible. The fact we're even linked to him is an insult.
Better or worse than Wout
why would we
Weghorst?
be linked to him? Because Murtaugh's getting fired, so I don't think any of these moves are legit. This probably is some agent throwing smoke in international break, in my opinion.
There you go. So maybe all transfer news is smoke likely. 98%.
Well, January's coming soon.
Of transfer rumors are bullshit in general, and January's around the corner. And if Ratcliffe does get put in the next 5 weeks, they could make some moves.
Don't make any moves.
You sell.
Let hire the only moves you make are the CEO and the director of football, and let them evaluate this mess and deal with it in the summer. Like, that's it.
Skip this story then, because Jean-Claire Todibo, the center back that plays for Nice, the team that Ratcliffe also owns, is a player we've been attached to. Even in the summer, we're talking about Pavard, talking about Todibo. Apparently, we're hot for him. 39 million pounds. You don't want to sign anybody in January. I would sign him. There's a market for Magoo. There will be now. Less so for Lindelof, but first out, it's got to be Lindelof. But Magoo's going to move faster.
Well, look, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I just hate that desperate new ownership coming in doing the January deals. You get burned in January.
Yeah, like Chelsea.
Nobody. Very rarely do January deals come off. Vidic never were signed in January. We all know that, but usually January, like Sabitzer's as best as you're going to get.
Bruno's the best you're going to get.
There you go. Next one here, soccer to trial basically the penalty box for dissent and tactical
What's
offenses.
Your thoughts?
They gotta look. This is the IFAB. I like the idea of tactical fouls giving you 5 or something on the sideline. There's 2 things they got to get out of the game. They got to get diving out of the game.
Yep.
And that should be with replay.
Yep.
And they got to get the tactical fouls.
100%, bro.
Like City and what Pep did to so English soccer should be played in a certain way, in my opinion, despite only being 60-something% English on 23andMe. Was not born there, sir, so I don't have a say. It should be like a certain amount of pace and intensity and physicality. And tactical fouls ruin it, slow it down. They make it Spanish. When we first started watching the league, it was like you had English football, then you had Spanish football, and I didn't want to watch Spanish football.
La Liga football.
Yes, but you know what I mean. Like La Liga. I didn't want to watch Spanish football because
it's not
it
fun
was
to watch.
slow. They just passed it side to side, and they rolled around the ground. And then Pep Guardiola basically brought that to the EPL, and it's like now it's all that. And it's like they got to kill that because it breaks up the game. Fans don't want it. It doesn't look good. And it's just like, I absolutely hate it. And so if you had a tactical foul and you were out for 10 minutes, you had to play a man down, nobody would do it. They got this. I love this idea because it would prevent stuff like that.
I mean, I like the idea of it, but I agree with your one point, which is that like tactical fouls, which they've allowed the same way they just allowed kind of City to take over the league without punishing them for all the other things they've been breaking the rules on. They haven't enforced the rules appropriately around the tactical fouls. Like they should be giving out yellows like they're giving out fucking candy on Halloween.
Yeah, but the thing is the yellows don't do it. Like the yellows.
Yeah, the yellows do it if they did enough of it, and then the guys would get sent off. I like the idea of this if they did it more freely, and they'd actually be like, all right, 5 minutes to the side.
But you get a yellow, and if you do a tactical foul, you get a yellow and 10 minutes.
It's
right?
just for tactical offenses?
Yeah, I like the idea of just
I do like
coming down hard on this. And also diving has to be like, I think if you dive, you're off for 10 minutes. Because like you can't just always have the red. The red's too much.
No, it's true. Because for what, 60 minutes, 70 minutes of the game, it ruins the game for the spectators.
No,
it ruins the game.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I like this.
That's actually a good idea.
Say if Martial dives, tries to get a penalty, it's a yellow, 10 minutes. Or tactical foul, yellow, and then 10 minutes.
Tony? Why would Tony do to you, bro?
No, he's a diver. He's
they're all divers,
He's a bluffer, sir. Absolute bluffer. Get into fan questions here. At D_Cole. Sirs, what's wrong with Onana? Does he not trust the center backs in front of him, and that's leading to shakier play? Was it like this last year? Is this fixable? Anthony's best game in a while, but it's clear he's not even a 40 million pound player. When we win this properly funded. We spent a lot of money on this team. That's the only thing I'm going to say. This team has as much money in it as Man City does. That is incredible. Like you would think we spent half. You think we spent like a quarter, but we spent as much, and we are horrid.
That's why management matters.
And they have a deep bench.
That's why management matters.
At Country Esquire, quote, my fickle group chat has fired Ten Hag and cut Onana in favor of Ole and De Gea. Ole and De Gea are lovable, but they're unemployed for a reason. Same can be said for the group chat. Pod therapy has never been so necessary. Hopefully, Alex has everyone at the factory working doubles.
We're working in shifts.
He's working in shifts, man.
We're working in shifts.
Shouldn't be allowed to
Honestly,
make decisions,
bro,
man.
We are working in shifts. The excuse factory, I never worked so hard in my goddamn life than this season.
The House of Failure is made out of the bricks.
Who the fuck did you hear
The
that
House
from?
of Failure is made from the bricks that the Excuse Factory produces,
Who told
sir.
you that? Is that from the old Giants
Sir,
coach?
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty good, though.
I like that one. At IC1, outside of the Onana Howlers, I think we played well. There was fight in the lads, but that's 7 goals given up on errors by Onana. This is getting comical.
That's incredible. 7.
That is incredible. There were,
There's a fight at the end.
I appreciate the
Wasn't
fight
there
at
some
the
fight
end.
at the end?
And from the kids, it was good. At Lou _ Dav 77 Onana. Oh no must go. I'm gonna add go. He must go. I don't think so. I backed De Gea. I will back Onana. He's got to get it right. I just think anytime you switch a goalie, it's like I hate to just keep going the same themes. We've been following this team for over 20 years, and it's like switching the goalie. When we brought in De Gea initially, he was making a ton of errors. You got to give him time, and then he shores up. But like going through that transition kills you, and I didn't think that we were ready to go through that just yet. And we did it this season, and it's costing us. At SC _ 1201, Onana has the positioning sense of a blind eagle. I think it's time to recognize we bought a keeper for his passing ability, and we're not playing that kind of football. So my question is, what was the plan in paying $50 million for a keeper who can pass and not stop a shot? What do you say, sir? His shot stopping looks like unconventional,
like
and it's like bouncing. The ball like flies everywhere.
No,
Like,
no, you're
he
right.
stops it, but it's like a big to do, and
Sometimes
it's like
he does. De Gea was like the most elegant shot stopper the game has ever seen. I mean, his ability.
sir, he was like a leopard, just pew.
Yeah, when he stopped it.
Yes, but like when he made an error, it was like he was doing
drag
something.
Onana,
and like, you know,
to drag Onana and big up your boy is De Gea. When he joined Manchester United, he was a young buck coming from Atletico Madrid, so he had more of an excuse for his transition to a strong league. Right, he's leaving baby bitch La Liga and coming to the EPL back in the day, bro. Not EPL today, which has gotten a lot softer. Onana came as a 28-year-old that had just played in the Champions League final. Like this, it shouldn't be this rough. There should be a transition. And I still think he'll come good, but this has been brutal, bro. It is the end of November now, and he's had like 7 or 8 games where he's had huge errors. I mean, I've never seen like it.
At M _ Williams 3, honest opinion, who would give us a better record in the EPL and Champions League, De Gea or Onana this season, sir? You have to say.
Of course, it's De Gea, bro, because it's like I don't think De Gea would have made 7 errors in a game. But we made our bed, and now we have our man. This is our keeper, bro. So it's like we got to move forward. But of course, like I don't think De Gea would be this many errors because he's putting on a horror show at this point.
It's unbelievable. It's tough. It's tough. At Love the Bulls 18. This is like a toxic relationship. Some days is good. Some days are shit. I mean, this is a definition of toxic relationship. We're gonna leave it at that. I mean, like this affected me today. Like pod therapy helps, but man. It's only because they sucked me back in with that McTominay 3-1, and I was like, let's go. I want to believe. The thing is, I'm just hook, line, and sinker want to believe in this team. I'm trying to arm's length it and just be like, no, we're not going to make it out of the group. We're going to Europa League, and then they pull me back in.
I'm pretty sure that's like the characteristic of a
like
toxic relationship.
Yes,
like, she said she was sorry.
Exactly,
He said he was sorry, and then what happened.
Well, that's the podcast. Appreciate you. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/American Red Devils. Support us. Tons of benefits. Check it out. AmericanRedDevils.store, AmericanRedDevils.com. Sir, give us our top 10 downloads the last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? Dublin, Ireland, New York, Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, Toronto, Canada, Dallas, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, Oslo, Norway, Houston, Texas, and last but not least, Brooklyn, New York. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do it without you. If you're here, you're a true fan.
501, episode 501. Sir De Gea, if you're listening, come on the pod anytime. You don't have a job, apparently. This guy's hitting you for your job. If De Gea joined, you'd be like such a nice guy.
Oh, dude.
I make sure to send him recordings of you just dogging him.
I'm a huge
number one De Gea
respect
fan,
De Gea.
sir.
Spaniard. My brother ran into him in Toledo.
Class act.
Not Toledo, Ohio. Toledo, Spain.
Class act.
And a good guy. He's class act, and you know what? He must have stacked so much bills at United that he doesn't even need to work no more.
All right, we're going to leave you with
our future.